Soju, much better. So, and this is going to be a very short presentation actually, and to give a little bit of overview on education and certification. Before I continue, I would like to know you a little bit better. Who is a teacher? Raise your hand. Who teaches at a university or a college? One person, two, three? Only three teachers here? Who is a student? Raise your hand. Okay, awesome. And who works at a game studio? Okay, amazing. And who's a programmer? Who's an artist or technical artist? Okay. Who's in the sound? Okay. Who has no clue what's going on here? Okay. So, Karen Colwart, I work at Unity as the America's Director of Evangelism and Global Leader for Evangelism. I'm standing on stage here because I actually took the certification test of Unity. It's an exam that you can take to see what's your level, your skill level of Unity. And I took as first person the test. I passed it. Ooh. Okay? I should have passed. I passed the test. Okay? And I didn't cheat. Okay? With the certification, we want to do a global effort. It's around the world the same programs, so that when you would maybe say, I'm going to the United States or America, it has the same value for the achievement education. What we also see is that when we go to China, Korea, Singapore, everybody is making technically the same radio games. There are cultural differences. Hey, the art styles may be totally different, but the way you optimize it and program is the same. That is why it is a global program that we offer. Okay. So in 2016, we are announcing several things. One is, we are announcing the certification exam. Raise your hand who has heard about Unity certification. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, a lot of people. Great. It is about to be ready. And we did the tests in several countries. And we want to bring it as soon as possible to Korea, where you can take the exam in Korean. Okay. Talk about it a little bit later. We also want to talk about Courseware. How can you get ready for the exam? For schools, we announced it last year already that we have a grant licenses. So you can write a grant to get the free licenses and the Courseware materials for secondary schools. Now for post-secondary education, we are coming out with bundles for schools. Those bundles will include the licenses, the exam, and the courseware. All the things you have to learn to become a good game developer. It will be a package. Not anymore hearing licenses and try to figure it out yourself. Okay. The exam itself, I took it. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to take the exam. The exam is about 100 questions long. The questions are multiple choice questions, or you get images and you have to click on the right areas, such as, what is the light probe? And you click on the light probe. Okay? Questions like, think about the question. Questions could be like, show me the idle state in the mechanism. Where would you plug in, where would you add an audio effect to? It could be by images, it could be by multiple choice. There's a lot of different topics. The exam is very broad. We ask about physics, programming, audio, animation, materials, shaders. It's basic. It's a basic exam. It doesn't go very deep yet. Okay? This exam is to understand, do you know Unity in a broad way and understand all the features and the possibilities of Unity. If you want to learn, like, okay, how are you going to start to get prepared a little bit is, what should I all know? Okay? And I can actually show you this. I'm going to go here. Okay. So here, that's a nice example. Okay, when it's about, let's say here, lighting, you have to understand global illumination. And you have to be able to explain the different lighting settings. If you talk about like physics, colliders, you have to be able to identify the colliders. You have to be able to differentiate the properties. Okay? Let's pick something else. User interface. You have to be able to understand the different UI components. When I go back to the top here, let's say audio. In audio, you have to be able to describe the different audio effects. Okay? So if you look at a document, you will understand already a lot. What do you need to know in order to take the exam? Okay? You have to have a minimum of 70% to pass the exam. You can take the exam like that, okay? But of course, we're gonna make courseware to prepare you for this. The courseware is with a lot of movie files, written things out. It takes about 40 hours to 80 hours to go to the content for that exam. It depends on the skill of Unity. We use also Bloom taxonomy. Bloom taxonomy means actually the language that educators use, the official language of teachers. We use that official language so it's easier for you to get be adopted by the government to integrate that course material in your school. It offers also linear and non-linear. What does that mean? That you don't have to say, okay, I watched movie 1, I watched movie 2, I watched movie 3, I watched movie 5. It's boring. You can actually take all different parts and you still be able to fully understand the materials and fully understand how to make a game and be ready for an exam. Also, each time when you watch a movie file or go through a chapter, there are questions that pop up who are similar to the exam, so you can say, okay, I understand this, now I should be getting ready for the exam. And here's an example of the questions. Like, what do you have to know? And there's a script coming up, and then it's asking a question about the script. And then the courseware here, it's actually a nice example. That here you can see that's the movie file part. And then the topics you're going to learn, you click on it, and then it starts to explain to you. The courseware is also designed so it's available that you can actually take it alone, or it can be delivered in a classroom style, where teachers can actually teach it. And that's why we're also providing for our teachers extra resources. If you're a teacher, that you really are skilled to teach that full chapter. Also, there's learning outcomes. What do you really need to know? Hey, what will you learn after this, following that courseware? And let's see that here. Okay. And here the courseware outcomes. Okay, and then, okay, if you watch chapter 1, you will be able to know how video controls work. You will understand art principles. But then it gets more and more in depth here, more technical. So you will be able to say, hey, how am I going to know the lighting tools? Okay? How am I going to create a sprite? Okay? Then later on, hey, how am I going to understand layers? Understand nav mesh. So all those outcomes, you will know exactly, okay, 20 different outcomes that align with the exam. Chapter 1 is the same chapter as the exam when you go online to take it or in person. Okay. Let me go back here. So, yes. So as I showed you, the exam is actually a shooter game, a zombie game. And the zombie game, and you can play it as a third-person zombie game. And I think we're going to talk about best practices, optimization, draw calls, how it all works in an example game. For that example game, we actually used a very global team to make that. We used artists from known studios, programmers who were at the top of the top, to really create this. It will be delivered and available to the asset store actually. You will be able to go to the asset store and get it from there to get ready for the exam. Okay? The game is basically, you play a boy or a girl, and you're going to defend yourself from zombies coming after you. We made sure that it's not shooting the game, because you cannot use it always in schools. That's why you're going to use attacks like freeze the zombie. How are you going to lighten the zombie? How are you going to try a stick bomb on the zombie? So those elements you will learn to make those effects in the particles. But no, you're going to learn also how to import the assets. And you're going to learn how to script everything. So the animation, texturing, how you're going to design effects, how you're going to implement audio, how you're going to build controls for it, and how you're going to build it for desktop, but also how you're going to build it for mobile. So it's a full game that will cover the major things and all the different topics to get ready for the certification. You're also going to get, if you pass the exam, you're going to get automatically an email. So you take the exam, when you walk out, you know right away if you passed or failed the test. Okay, I hope you passed the exam. And then you automatically get an email where you can print out your certification that you passed the exam. And there's a lot more we are working on. We're also working on an exam for experts, like a higher end exam, where you can really in-depth Unity, and what we're going to call the professional one. But also because there's different flavors. We have artists, we have programmers, we have specialists. We're going to have for those different ones all different badges. You'll be able to take later on an exam specific for technical artists, for artists. You'll be able also to take an exam for like programmers, but then also for badges, like say, a specific exam who goes really in depth on VR. An exam that goes deep in depth on navigation, on AI. All those different topics will be covered. So that you can collect a whole range of really prove what you all know in Unity. When you go to a game studio, you will be able to say, I know that topic super good. I know all those topics basic. I know that topic very good. I can program, I can do this. I can prove that now to you. That opens a market for you to really easily find a job. And also prove if somebody comes to you, hey, can you make a game for me? Can you do this? Yes, I can create this. It helps you to land also contracts. And it helps to stand out in the community. You're a leader in Unity. So, as I said, it was a very short presentation. Here's the exam, and you will be able to take it. But if you have questions, I'm around here. I am not part of the edu team, so I will try to do my best. And I will collect also your questions you have. But definitely I want to invite you, there's in the back, in the booth area, we also have a booth about Unity education and certification. And our edu team from Korea will be much better to able to answer all the questions for the Korean market and when it will be available for the Korean market. Okay. So this was a quick overview on it, and I want to thank you for this. What are your questions? Yes? Okay. The pricing in Korea is not set, I think. They are working on that. Or is somebody from the Korean team here? No. I think the pricing is set. Yes. They listed the price in Korean on the booth. And I think it's best to go there because I cannot read Korean and I don't know. But I saw something 250, but I don't know what that means. So, yeah. Any other question? Yes? He's bringing it. Okay.
언어가 영어만 지원되나요?
No, the translation for Korean is being done right now. So soon it will be available fully in Korean. The Courseware will be available in Korean, and also the exam will be fully available in Korean language.
Okay, I will say just English. I thought the unit is very frequently just updated. So recently just updated to 5.3.4. So I just wondering if I got the certification, if I passed the examination, then I'm wondering because the previous master and previous class will maybe change in next version. So I just wondering how much the period if I get the certification is available.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Because I have certification from other softwares myself, and they changed the software or something like that, and Unity is very fast growing. Well, one thing is when you take the certification, let's say for Unity, at Unity 5.3 or 5.2 or 5.4, we're going to give it valid for a year, okay? Because if you understand Unity, it will not be so drastically changing. Of course, when direct references comes in, things will rapidly change again. So on a regular basis, we're going to have to update the exam with new questions. But you're going to have, of course, a time that's a year valid. And then we know, okay, that doesn't mean if a new feature comes in, they don't know Unity anymore. So, yeah.
그러면 그렇게 1년이 지난 뒤야 1년 지난 다음에 재시험을 칠 때 뭐 특별한 이렇게 그 이미 본 사람들은 그런 이득이 있는지.
So, I don't know the answer because they're working on those fine details, but it's definitely something they want to do. Yes. But I don't know, they didn't make any decisions on the details. Okay. 감사합니다.